What's up, guys? Techmaster back with another video. So on Wednesday I got the iPhone 12. I switched to Verizon. As you can see, I have Verizon cell service, so I switched to that. And yeah, today I just got, or not today, but on Wednesday I got this phone. And today it's the iPhone 12 in purple. So today we're gonna be talking about if this phone is still worth buying or not. So I'm gonna say absolutely 100% without a doubt you should still buy this phone. Obviously, it's pretty expensive, but it's definitely not as expensive as the 13s and the 13 mini is basically the same price, and it's still really good. I mean, like, this phone has an Apple A14 Bionic chip with 4 GB of RAM. So and to be honest, it's a 5 nanometer chip, and I do notice this pretty big performance difference between that and the A13 Bionic chip and the iPhone 11, because that's a 7 nanometer chip. Even though and the battery life on this phone, it's like, this is how I put it. So it's got 17 hours of video playback from what Apple says. So basically, if it's 13 or 14 hours, that's bad. 15 is good. Above 15, like 16 or 17, or 15 is okay. Sorry. 15 is okay. 16, 17 is good. 18 is really good. 20 is excellent. 22 is like top tier, and then 28 is best, basically. So, like I said, 13 and 14 are bad. So, like, the iPhone SEs have terrible battery life, and they got, like, 3 hours of screen on time on tests and stuff. So, yeah, but anyway, moving on. So, this phone is super good. It's got 5G. I also have access to ultra-wideband, too, because that's the plan. This phone has 2 cameras, and they have super good quality image. They have much more enhanced quality. So, and they can also do night ultra wide shots. So basically, if I go to here and I click ultra wide, as you can see, it has night mode. So basically, you have night mode on all of the cameras, and including the front camera too. So that's pretty cool. As you can see, there's night mode on the front camera too. So that's pretty good too. And yeah, I mean, that's really awesome to be able to have that capability. I mean, it's excellent. As you can see, I have the purple wallpaper. I do have the purple color. I love it. I think this purple color is super good. The case does not look good. I'll tell you that much. It was just a case. We didn't want to spend too much on a case, so this was the cheapest one we found. It's fine though. It's super protective, so it should be good if you drop it. Anyway, getting back to the phone. So this phone does have 5G, obviously. Great battery life. Great cameras. And it has the flat sides. So the flat sides, it's basically got squared edges, basically. If I take off this case, I'll show you what I mean. So most phones before this had rounded edges. This basically has flat sides, as you can see. They're not totally flat, but they're way more flat compared to the other ones. So they're basically squared edges, and the cases don't look that rounded. They look pretty much squared. So yeah, I like this. This design is really nice, and I really like it. So we have fast charging. Obviously, we have the USB 20-watt chargers, can fast charge. Is a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR display. And so the good thing about the iPhone 12 over the iPhone 11 is, even though this was the lower cost model, it's $100 more than the iPhone 11 when it first came out. Now it's the original price of the iPhone 11. But the good news is that this phone has a much higher quality display. So basically, it was the iPhone 11 had a 326 ppi display, so it basically had an LCD display with 326 ppi. This has 460 ppi, and it's a really high quality and sharper looking display. Obviously, it doesn't have the crazy brightness that the Pros have, but it is a higher quality display over the iPhone 11. So that's a good thing if you're buying this phone. The iPhone 11, yes, it's $200 less expensive, but to be honest, I think the iPhone 12 is just a way better phone in general. Like, I think it's sort of worth paying the price, because when you max out the iPhone 11, there are only $200 separating them. But yes, that's a big price, but you get a way better display, way better cameras, newer design, 5G, and 5G ultra wideband, if you get that, is 820% faster than 4G. So you're getting a way better side. The point is, $200 is, in my opinion, is worth it for this. The iPhone 11, like I said, like I made a video on, I don't think that's the best phone to buy. I feel like it's got some downsides, so I wouldn't recommend buying that phone really as much out of the other phones. Obviously, if you don't have much, like if you have like $500, I wouldn't buy the iPhone SE3 though. That phone's terrible. I really don't like it at all. So that's a better value than that, but the iPhone 11 is a better value than the SE3, but I wouldn't. Otherwise, if you have more than that, I would recommend the iPhone 12. And then the 12 mini is $599, but that has terrible battery life and a really smaller display. So the 12 is better. You get much better stuff with the 12 than the 12 mini. So, yeah. I mean, yeah. Anyway, this phone is still completely worth it in 2022. Yeah, what else to point out? Oh, yeah, you have night mode on the... Well, I told you I show that. You have night mode on the front camera, so that's really good. What else? Yeah, again, the display is 6.1 inches, so it's like the perfect size. And it has about 625 nits of brightness, and yeah, it's pretty bright overall. And again, this phone has millimeter wave or ultra wideband 5G, so yeah. And again, battery life. There's something I don't know if you reviewed. This was a while ago, but in the event, the October event where they released this phone, it's basically called Smart Data Mode. So basically, if you want to preserve battery life, if you turn on 5G auto at least, your phone will only turn on 5G when it's needed. And then even when you're in a 5G area, it'll unless you're doing a lot of bandwidth intensive stuff, it'll stick to LTE to save battery life. When you're in a 5G area, it'll switch to 5G when you're doing a bunch of, bandwidth intensive stuff. So that's pretty cool. That's called Smart Data Mode. Anyway, that's it for this video. But I just wanted to let you know, guys, the cool features and tips of this phone. I would say it is still perfectly great in 2022. 100% worth buying. So yeah, that's it for today's video, and subscribe.